What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is Dr. J. Phoenix Singh coming to you to be able to answer a valued viewer's question. As always, I appreciate the love, so please do take a second to smash that like button. It helps to be able to make sure that YouTube shows all of our videos to new viewers who are not subscribed. Now, right now, we're fluctuating in between about 15% to 20% of our viewers being people who are actively subscribed, meaning that if you see this video and you enjoy it, if you enjoy content across this channel, I want to make sure to encourage you to be able to not only subscribe, but also to be able to hit that bell icon, because that makes sure that whenever we post new original content, which these days is several times a week, you can make sure that you're getting access to it. It'll ping your phone, it'll let you know that we got something new for you. And we have content for folks everywhere from early career academics all the way through end of career academics. And today we're going to be answering a question from a viewer named Brady. Brady, thank you so much, mate, for watching the channel. I appreciate you. You've commented a whole bunch of times, mate, on different videos, and I always enjoy seeing your face and seeing your name. I got you up here today. I'm using a different camera than I usually do. Makes editing a little bit easier. So the question that Brady initially had was actually one that after that Side Truth Seeker, Zanab, and a whole bunch of other people ended up asking. So please do make sure that if you do see any questions that are posted in the comment section on this or any other video that you really want to make sure that I answer, that you just comment and voice your support, because it makes sure that I know that it should be a priority for me to be able to answer in a video for you. If you have any high sensitivity questions, meaning that it's a question that would be of relevance to all the several thousand subscribers we've got, let me know and I'll happily make a video for you. If it's something that is very high specificity, meaning that it's really mostly relevant to your individual case, then I want to encourage you to visit my website, which is the one below, and set up a one-on-one appointment with me. I do a ton of academic coaching, specifically helping people get into undergraduate and also graduate programs, but I also work with people to be able to get their dream postdocs, prep their tenure applications, get more publications, grants, and so forth. I've been doing this for years and years. Hopefully at this stage I'm pretty good at it, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So, okay, here's the question that we've got. The question was posted on a video that I made called Help. My paper keeps getting rejected from journals. And this was a response video to another viewer's question. And in that video I mentioned, and Brady points out right here in the question, I mentioned that there are strategies that you can use to be able to tell essentially either who your reviewer is or who the authors of a manuscript are. Now, if you want to learn all about this, my recommendation is to be able to go to www.publicationacademy.com. Publication Academy is going to be launching in January of 2021. So if you're watching this video literally even one calendar month from when it's being posted, which is December of 2020, make sure to go on there, and I want you to watch the module that is all about best practices in responding to peer reviewer comments and conducting a peer review, because we go in for several hours into everything that you will ever need to know in your career about peer review, that entire process, and how you can master it to maximize the likelihood that your piece gets accepted in high impact journals. It's the reason why I've spent the entire past calendar year and a truly absurd amount of money building that thing for you guys. It's over 120 hours of content that I built this year specifically for you, so I'm excited for you guys to check that out. But to give you guys a sneak peek in terms of a short form version in terms of what the answer to this is let's say that you're conducting a peer review. You're reading a piece, and the piece understandably is going to be blinded, meaning that you do not know who the authors are. And if they've done it properly, that means that they will have no information even about things like what funding they've received in terms of a specific funder or in terms of something along the lines of a grant number which has been assigned to them. Why? Because sometimes you can look it up and you can find out who is on the grant, and hence you can figure out who the authors are. So that should be taken out. If that's in there, that's really easy to be able to do. In fact, sometimes there's also like institutional review board or ethics board numbers, approval numbers, and you can just call the review board and say, hey, I have a question about this particular, this particular ethics application, and they literally will give you all the information on it. Now, does anybody ever do that? No, you'd be out of your mind to do that. But at the same time, you should just know that it's actually possible. Now, the easiest way to be able to do this is literally just based on the references. So if you go to the reference section, I want you to see who is cited the most. Now, usually when it comes to the calculation of what's called an H-index, and I got a video on this channel about what is an H-index, how do you calculate it, why is it important, etc. Think about it like an individual academic's personal impact factor. The idea here is that even self-citations, you citing yourself in a peer-reviewed publication, could be a book chapter, could be an article, could be whatever, right? But if you cite yourself, then what happens is that it still impacts your H-index, which frankly is crazy. But when it comes to things like the H-index and the I-10 index, which is what Google Scholar uses and calculates for different scholars, it still counts. So something that I want you to take into consideration is that there are all these other metrics out there that are kind of different versions of the H-index, which remove that self-citation capacity, right? Or remove the impact of them in terms of the magnitude of the H-index. But a lot of people, they want to cite their own stuff. Why? Because they want more people to know about it. And that's completely understandable, right? I've done it before myself. I'm not immune to that, and no academic truly is. Even though they'll say that they don't like it, it's something where they usually do it themselves. So ironically, the biggest life hack here is to be able to go to the references section and see who is cited the most. Now, it may not be who the first author is, but usually it's going to be an individual whose name you see over and over and over again. Sure, there's going to be some articles, some papers, some book chapters where they're on a very specific theme, and because of that, it could be that the individuals who are referenced the most are just the individuals who dominate that theme. For example, I'm working on a paper right now that has to do with cognitive biases amongst forensic evaluators, because I'm a forensic psychologist. That's my field, right? It's forensic psychology and forensic psychiatry, because I got doctorates in both. But it's one of these situations where at the end of the day, even in that article, if I take a look at kind of who's being referenced, there's a couple of my co-authors and they're cited a whole bunch, right? And this is also because they're super dominant in the field, that particular sub area of the field, but we also end up having citations of other individual teams who publish so much on that particular topic. So is this kind of a tried and true method that will always work? No, but it is something where I can't tell you the number of times that I've been accurate when using that strategy. And it's the same thing if you're trying to figure out who a peer reviewer is. Now, sometimes you can tell solely based on things, in terms of how they write and this kind of stuff, but then you need to be a real master of literature. The easiest way to do it, honestly, is if somebody has told you that you have forgotten a seminal. I love the use of the term seminal in peer reviews. That, there's a seminal paper, a recent paper that you didn't cite, and it's almost always by the person who is the reviewer, and they feel jaded that you didn't cite their piece. I cannot tell you the number of times this has happened. If that happens, the path of least resistance in terms of responding to peer reviewer comments is literally just to say like, we thank the reviewer for their helpful assistance in terms of identifying this seminal piece, just call it a seminal piece, not going to kill you, right? This seminal piece, and we've made sure to find a place to be able to reference it in the manuscript, and then just say like page line number or page paragraph number, right? That's the path of least resistance with some of this kind of stuff, right? So that if they do send it back to that particular peer reviewer, they don't throw up a whole hissy fit, which, trust me on this one, I'm an academic. Academics were like the most egotistical people you meet in your entire life. So, anytime that you can just like stroke the ego and just like make it go away, that's exactly what you should do. So, Brady, I hope that helped. I hope that was of interest to everybody else. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.